Welcome, in front of me is a Xiaomi 14T Pro, and today I will show you a couple tweaks and the tricks that you can do on this device. So to get started, let's open up our settings, and we're gonna start off by navigating to notifications and status bar. And here we have things like the number of notification icons shown right here. I think 1 is the default, which is kind of odd. You can increase this to 3, which is the kind of normal that most Androids have. Or you can also just completely hide them altogether from not showing up in the status bar, but you can still access them by pulling it down. Then below that we have the battery indicator, and we have a couple of modes. So we have just the battery with percentage inside and the percentage outside of the battery. And going back, and we have also home screen right here, which allows us to customize the home screen. And under home screen we have things like the classic mode, drawer mode, and light mode. These two are shown throughout the setup process, so you can by default you will probably have classic if you haven't changed it. So if you want to have the typical Android experience, you probably want the drawer mode with the applications just being pulled up from the bottom, an entire drawer full with all the applications being there. Now if you're an elderly person, you might be interested in this one, the light mode, which just makes the icons bigger and shows less of them on a screen, but obviously makes it a little bit more accessible. So that's one thing. Going back to the home screen, we also have, or should have, the layout. Guess we don't. Try to find it here. Okay, so there we go. So you can access it by holding your finger on the home screen on empty spot, selecting the settings, and here we have the home screen layout, and you can change it to have more applications. That does need to relaunch. There we go. You can also lock the home screen full cells of uninstalled apps, which I'm not sure how that's gonna work. I'm gonna select done. You also have the option to add widgets right here. I don't have network, so it's not going to show them up at all for some other reason. Let's try the Android widgets. There we go. So here we have just the default Android widgets that you can add that basically come already with your device. So if you want to utilize some of them, you can just slap them in, or not, because again there is more problems here. Because I guess there is not enough space right here for some odd reason. In any case, I'm just going to stop at that. And going back to our home screen section and scrolling down, we have the system navigation here as well, and we have the buttons and gestures. For some reason this isn't showing up throughout the setup process, so if you like gestures you can find it here. I'm not going to be learning it, as I'm pretty sure everyone at this point already knows how to use them. And you can see it just removes the buttons and stops to them for the bar. Additionally, I believe we should be able to go into, yeah, there we go. So hide a full screen indicator, which is this bar at the bottom. You can see it right here. You can get rid of it also. It just becomes transparent. It doesn't really change anything else, just makes it nicer and cleaner looking. And going back to the main settings page and scrolling further down, we have the display and brightness, and here we have the light and dark mode. You can choose either one of those, which again, these are not showing up throughout the setup process for some reason, if I remember correctly. So you can change them right here. Additionally, you also have the dark mode options, which allows you to switch from light to dark mode based on either sunset to sunrise or on a custom timer, and also select specific applications to be affected by this. Now going a little bit further down in the display and brightness, we have color scheme, and here we have just how vibrant and colorful the display is. By default it's set to original color pro, but you also have the vivid, saturated, and advanced settings. You can check whichever one you prefer more. I honestly like the original the most, so that's what I'm gonna stick with, which is honestly kind of surprising, because most of those times the default option is the ones that is the most saturated and the most unrealistic. Here it looks like Xiaomi is keeping the normal one the most toned down and most realistic looking, which is pretty good. Now going further down, we also have the refresh rate. We have it set to default. You also have the custom. unlike other devices, it's kind of weird in here. So default basically runs max at 144 Hertz, but drops it down to, does it say how many frames? No, it does not. But I presume probably something to like 10 frames, if I'm correct. So it should be dropping those frames down pretty low to preserve battery life when nothing is happening. Now, unfortunately, there's something happening on the screen. The ball is kind of like going up. So every time the ball just kind of goes through, the display runs at 144 Hertz, and the moment there isn't anything moving, it switches to possibly 60 or 10 frames. I'm not sure, as it's kind of hard to see when nothing is moving. You don't really see the refresh rate, obviously. So as an example right here, nothing would be moving, so it's dropping the frame rate to preserve battery life, but the moment I start swiping up and down, it automatically jumps to 144 to give me that nice smooth motion. And additionally, if you don't see much of a difference between the high refresh rate and low one, which you would have to go into custom and check the, for instance, 60, how that feels, and then switch to up to 140 and see if you like whichever one you like more. And if you don't see much of a difference between those two, I would probably recommend sticking with the 60, as this might give you better battery life. So yeah, I personally do see a difference, so I'm gonna be sticking with the default. Last thing in here is the AI image engine, and here we have the super resolution AI HDR enhancements, and I'm not sure what that actually is. So MEMC, I think this is the, yep, okay, so this is like the frame interpolation. So it adds additional frames, making the content look smoother. This is a okay feature, for instance, for games, if it's affecting games, but for movies, as an example, it might give you this kind of soap opera-ish feel to it, as things will just be looking a bit too smooth. Furthermore, it does also decreases your battery life whenever it's being used, as it is using the processor in there a little bit more to give you those additional frames. But obviously, it might be something interesting. You might want to check it out if you like it. I personally do like the additional frames, as things just look nicer in general. It's not the best for specifically movies, as those were designed to be in, like, for instance, 24 frames, and giving it more frames makes it usually just look very bad. And in certain cases, and just to kind of elaborate on this a little bit further, when movies get played at higher frame rates, you start to see things that the lower refresh rate was hiding, so it just starts to really look CGI-ish, which is very prominent with Marvel movies. With high refresh rate, they don't look as good, and typically anything that has some kind of CGI in it just starts to stand out a bit more. It looks way more fake rather than when it's at its designed frame rate, which somehow, I don't know how, but it just tricks your mind into making it look much more realistic than it is. So I just wanted to point that out if you're planning to use this option. Now, for things like the AI HDR, obviously, again, this will increase your battery consumption when being used, but it's not being used always. It's just going to be used whenever it's trying to get some video to fake HDR. Fake because it's just going to try to pretend or implement an HDR to a content that doesn't support it, because it wasn't ever in high dynamic range. Again, it's going to be using processor to try to do that by increasing things like contrast ratios and stuff like that to make the image look a bit more interesting. And now, going to the super resolution, this is another interesting option which tries to increase the resolution of an image by adding more pixels to it and trying to figure out what would be the pixel in between them. So, like I said, if you have, for instance, something like a tree in there in the background, single branch might just be a single pixel line. With the AI, it might just try to make it something like two wide pixels or more to make it look more intricate, more detailed. Again, this will use more of your phone's battery, and this might be a hit or miss. Sometimes it creates artifacting, so if you're prone to seeing a bit of details in images, you might start to see some weird stuff. If it bothers you, you can turn that off. Though for a typical person, I think it might be hard to spot that kind of thing. But anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this very helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.